Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley just had their first press conference. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, YouTube boxing, celebrity boxing, crossover boxing, whatever you want to call it. It's boxing. As much as people hate Jake Paul, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you can't deny that he is the most active YouTube boxer. He's been on the biggest stage for YouTube boxing. But anyway, let's talk about the press conference. Now, Jake Paul lost that press conference against Tyron Woodley. Now, I say this because, press conferences doesn't necessarily determine the outcome of the fight. Jake Paul lost the press conference as well to Ben Askren. Jake Paul really did look like a problematic child against Ben Askren. Ben Askren showed how, he's the mature one between the two. Even the trash talk, it was right on point. Jake couldn't really get back at Ben Askren. But what happened in the fight? You guys know what happened in the fight. Ben Askren got knocked out. Ben Askren won the press conference. Jake Paul won the fight. Now, Jake Paul, in my opinion, is not really a good trash talker. Yes, he is a good villain of the sport. People want to see him lose, but he is not a good trash talker. Let's be honest here. When you see Jake Paul, he is very awkward. He's very twitchy. Sometimes it seems as if he's not really focused during the press conference. And what I notice is he has a few personas. That energetic Jake Paul who just goes guns and blazing, trash talking his opponent. Jake Paul has that more calm approach, but still doing the trash talk, which in my opinion suits him more. Still not as effective as his opponent Ben Askren and now Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul had his moments. He made the bet with Tyron Woodley that whoever wins, whoever loses will have to get a tattoo on their body saying I love Jake Paul or I love Tyron Woodley, posting it on Instagram. But Tyron Woodley is mature, a veteran in the UFC. He's been through a lot of trash talk in his career, more than Jake Paul. He talked about Floyd Mayweather training him, and overall he's just gonna show Jake Paul how much of a stretch he's making to fight Tyron Woodley. Second point that I do want to make is Tyron Woodley is not Ben Askren. We all know this. Ben Askren, since he was in Bellator, when he went to the UFC, he had lots of success, but mostly in wrestling, not in striking. Tyron Woodley is a better striker, way better striker than Ben Askren. And yes, Ben Askren is used to fighting on the big stage, but the thing is, wrestling and boxing are two different and respected aspects of combat sports. You can't immediately become a wrestler because you were used to boxing. You can't immediately become a good boxer if you were good at wrestling. It takes years of practice. So when Ben fought Jake, I wasn't really convinced that, because he was a combat sports athlete, that he could actually, beat Jake Paul, because Jake Paul, he's been putting in the work and, he has been fighting and training for a few years now. Now, Tyron Woodley, on the other hand, does have knockouts to his name due to boxing, due to striking. This is a big challenge for Jake Paul, not just, the press conferences. This is the real deal here. But what I don't appreciate is Jake Paul saying that, in 3 years, he wants to fight Canelo. Guys, Canelo is the number 1 pound for pound boxer in the world. Even the number 10 pound for pound boxer in the world would smoke Jake Paul. It doesn't matter if Jake Paul weighs more, he's naturally at 200 pounds. It doesn't matter. Even if Canelo comes in at 160, he's gonna wreck Jake Paul. Jake Paul having aspirations of being world champ, I can't fault him for that, because, when you have a specific dream, a specific aspiration, then get it. But way more than 3 years if he wants to actually pursue this, as a career going forward. Jake Paul doesn't stand a chance against Canelo. But I do hope it's going to be a good fight. I do agree with Jake. Tyron Woodley could be the first, and probably will be the first, to take Jake into deep waters, take him in 3 rounds, 4 rounds. He can be the first to actually have some success against Jake Paul, actually hit him. With the best competition that Jake Paul will face, it's Tyron Woodley. And let's end it on this note. As much as you would hate Jake Paul, the guy knows how to make you watch this fight. Regardless if you're a fan or not, you want to see him win, you want to see him lose. He is the villain of MMA. He's fighting these MMA guys, trash talking Dana White. That's a fight I'm going to watch, because at the end of the day, it's boxing. At the end of the day, more people will start watching boxing because of this fight, because of the publicity that it gives. That's my reaction to Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley's press conference. You can let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do now by clicking the subscribe button down below, clicking the notification bell to get notified for upcoming videos. Once again, it's your boy G. I'll see you next time.